Let's look at some of the weaknesses now. The reds really don't have any. And so what I have done, I've had to make up some so that the rest of them wouldn't feel so bad. But if you want, I'll do that one last. Okay, and then the important thing is that the blues are unrealistic. Whoops. The blues are unrealistic, they're moody, they're unforgiving. Ooh, are they unforgiving. These blues, you sometimes do marriage counseling with a blue, and we'll be sitting in there, and she will say, he's told me 3 times in 42 years that he loved me. Really? 3 times? Not 4. No, 3 times. One was June 23rd, when we did this over here. The other one was on when we went on a second honeymoon. He told me he loved me in a card. I really don't count that, but for this one I count because he wrote it. And he says, I love you, this red guy. You want me to say I love you? I love you. It's not the same. It doesn't count. If you have to say it. The blue people, you think about this blues right now. You think back to some time in grammar school when some teacher offended you or hurt your feelings. You can remember their name. You can remember the grade. Huh? Her face. Everything. Have you ever forgiven them? No. They don't deserve it. They do not deserve to be forgiven, and God will fix them. Won't He? That's right. That's right, she says. They deserve it. Now, the red kid, when he was offended, what did he do? He put a snake in there, or he hit something, he threw a rock through the window. He did something, he balanced it out. Blues don't forget, and they don't forgive. They can be very vengeful. So you cross a blue, you're crossing a heavyweight. They will get you, and you will pay for it. Some guys in a red-blue marriage think they're knocking around the wife. And I say, well, no, that's really not happening that way. She's really good. How's the sex life coming? They say, well, is that what you're talking about? I'll say, that's what I'm talking about. You're kidding. You know? And they're just totally unresponsive. There's no intimacy. The woman has begun to feel like what? An object? What about it? Can you see how the sexual thing can be with the red, either male or female? Almost like eating a hamburger. Okay? It's time for lunch. Okay? And that's the way it goes. And this blue, what do they want? Love and intimacy. And the red saying, I give you intimacy. All right? Idiot! That's not what I'm talking about. And in marriage counseling, they got a real problem here with the blues feeling very, very different about the sexual approach. And you can have some very, very big problems sexually with this. And you need to look into that. Okay. Now, besides the blue being revengeful, they're prone to depression. And they get depressed. They're so guilt-ridden. And they're so hard on themselves. And so perfectionistic. Can reds be perfectionistic too? Yes. But you get into a fight, a horrible situation with the blue, they feel guilty. They're liable to commit suicide. They'll kill themselves. The red would kill you. And that's the difference between the outlook. The red, it's your fault. The blue is feeling guilty. Did you get the difference? And you blues know what I'm talking about. Okay, now, what are the weaknesses of the white? So each color has weaknesses. Each color has strength. The weaknesses of the white. They're uninvolved. I don't have boring down here, but you can put down boring. Oh, is it there? Boring? Okay. So they're unsure of themselves. They're lazy. Are they lazy? Come on, whites, aren't you lazy? Would you rather not be involved? It's just too much work. She keep poking her husband. Yes, you agree with this. Yes, okay. Isn't she terrible? She's terrible. But whites will forgive you. Be nice to them. They got to be nice. You got to be nice to them. Okay. Now the way to get to a white is you are kind, and what else should I say? Are they stubborn? Are you going to get those turkeys to move? No way. They hunker down, and you couldn't blast them out. And when the red gets on them, and they're going to do this, that white will just get in there and just freeze up, and you're not going to go anywhere. It's like dragging a dragon. They're reluctant, they're boring, they're indecisive, which is understatement of the year. Okay? They have a hard time. Now, what's wrong with the yellows? They have a tendency to be impulsive, rebellious, undisciplined, disorganized, uncommitted, unreliable, and obnoxious. They think they're wonderful. And it's so awful. They come to the party, like I say, they forgot the dip, they're late, and they say, here I am, I had 4 parties to go to tonight, and I chose you, and here I am. And you say, oh, they're here. Yeah, you know, it just makes you throw up, because they contribute nothing. to a red. From a red's point of view, they're very, very unproductive. Now, we did have some I made up for the red. Some of the reds are sometimes a little bit impatient. They might be a little insensitive once in a while if you deserve it. And they're contentious. Okay, they are arrogant. If you knew everything, wouldn't you be arrogant? Okay, do they think they really know everything? No, they don't feel superior to everybody. They just really figure it out and think it through. And once they've figured it out and they've figured everything out, then this is it and that's right. And they're bewildered why you can't see it. They're absolutely bewildered why you can't see it. Anybody with a brain ought to be able to see this. Totally. And they're so frustrated. We're frustrated with the rest of the world who cannot understand. If everybody would just listen to the reds, the world would go smooth and all the problems would be solved. Do you believe that? Yes. From their point of view? Yes, that's true. Is that right? It's right. Reds, is that right? Yes. What's the right color, Reds? Red. Who did you marry? Are they selfish? Yeah. There's 5 people and 4 pieces of pie. And the red takes a piece of pie and says, the rest of you figure it out. All right? You're too fat anyway. All right? That's exactly what they feel. And it's the truth. If it's the truth, should you be offended? If it's the truth, should you be offended? No. Would the blue say that? They say, oh, I'll cut it in half. I'll do without. I'll have a diet soda. And you can have the cherry pie. And then the blue would feel, oh, like a martyr and feel good. And it'd be into their thing. And it's worth it to be a martyr. Are the blues martyrs? Do they make good martyrs? What kind of martyrs do the reds make? Over your dead body. Okay? Is that right? Why give it up to these idiots, right? Okay. So they're arrogant. They're selfish. Some people have the audacity to say we're bossy. Because all we're doing is giving advice. Like, get in there now. The red wants it done now, their way, the right way. And that's what they want. Okay? And so they're critical. The blues are critical of themselves. But can blues also be very critical and perfectionistic of their children? They want everything perfect. The blue mother has them all in their studies and they come home and the sheets are just right and the towels and the soap and they're going here now, they're going to ballet and hurry up and we'll get home for soccer and then we'll do your studies and then I will read to you and then we'll go to bed and you will love me. And this is what they're doing. Is that right? The white kid's buried in his Nintendo, in his computer. He's off in space someplace. Is that true? The yellow kid hasn't come home yet. You don't know where he is. All right. Now, okay, are we getting an idea here? Do we have an idea?
Do you believe that people can outstep their bounds of what they are? Say I'm a white, but when I get on the freeway, I kind of freak out and become a red.
Yes. How many red do you have?
7.
Well, that's enough. 7. Is it true what he's saying at work requires me to be a red more, and so I use more of my red personality? What we want here is a blend. I need more acceptance of the white. So what you're saying is very important. What we want is a blend of colors. I want to take the strengths of the yellow and be able to have fun. I was counseling a teacher, and the teacher has gone into a class where several teachers had left. They would not do it. And I asked him this simple question. I said, do you want to go into that class as a red? He said, no way. They had just driven out 2 or 3 teachers in a row, in tears. So I said, do you want to approach these kids as a red? No. Do you want to approach? What would they do to a blue? They'd crucify them. Okay? What would they do to a white? But the white wouldn't care, right? And do you want to know what he decided? He was going in as a yellow, and he turned the whole thing around. Now, you have been approaching your kids as what? Reds and blues generally? And how's the relationship? One time, remember this white family I was telling you about? The white mother and the blue dad? And that's a real case, And we told the dad, what do you want to do? The son was a yellow. And the basis of the group, because the group helped him to get to that, he said, I'll go home. I will accept my son as a yellow. Is it okay to be a yellow? If it isn't, what are you going to do about it anyway? Now, I wouldn't be a yellow for anything, okay? I'd feel very bad about myself if I was yellow, because I wouldn't be getting anything done. And all my tapes that you got to produce to be okay, I couldn't handle that, because I don't feel any self-value in myself. The yellows feel self-value in themselves. I'm damaged, and we're going to talk about that in the second level here. But the point is that He was sent home with the idea, I will work on the relationship. I will love my son. I'll get involved in his world. Do you think the kid trusted him for the first couple, 3 weeks? But pretty soon the kid was inviting him upstairs to the TV to enjoy things. And the dad let go of the school and let go of the room and started to work on the relationship. Now, can you see how the relationship is more important? The relationship, if a father's going to have influence over that child, what does he have to begin with? You have to start with that relationship. And I think if you can understand that some kids are blues, some kids are yellows, and you need to hit them where it's important. What does a little blue girl need? Does she need that intimacy? What if she has a red brother? Does red brother have to understand about being a little more intimate with this child? And protecting her and loving her and being big brother instead of having a power issue? Does she have to learn how to be not quite so sensitive maybe? And so self-critical? And to learn how to deal with this red? She'll probably marry one, poor thing. All right? And the whites, do they need to be more structured, these children? They need to be driven more. There needs to be more rewards. They're kind of lazy. And these yellows, they need to settle down and they need to take life more seriously. But where they're at, can you reach them and connect to their motivations? Do you think that there's a problem in the marital dyad where there's a conflict of value between the husband and the wife, where that's spilling over into the relationships with the children? Can you see how understanding this and teaching this to your children will help them to deal with each other? Can you see that? Your brother's a red. He's into power. He's into control. And that's important to him. So as a parent, do you think you could give this child lots of control in his life? Appeal to this? Does he want to take charge? The reds want to get in and take over. This little teeny kid sitting in his crib that's a red, shaking the bars. You know, it's not a matter of if he's going to take over the world when he gets out. It's a matter of when he can get out and take over for this incompetent mother. And he's going to get out there and take over. And he's starting to run the house right now. And you can tell he's red. They come prefixed. Colors are innate. Now, we believe that we come with these personalities basically intact. Those are innate with us. But we become charactered. And I now, as a red, can work on getting more yellow and having more fun. My children need that. And I need to allow myself to take a vacation. I don't want to take vacations. I feel guilty when I take vacations. I think it's wrong. I think it's sinful to take vacations because it's wasted time. And all the time I'm out there, guess what I'm thinking? There's another thing. We don't do that. You know, I got this and I didn't do that. The yellows, they're always out there. The white, they'll go wherever, whatever. Doesn't matter to them. Can you see how the blues and the reds are heavy hitters? And these are more light. Not that they're more important, but they just don't take life so seriously as these people. In our family, my wife goes on a vacation. Guess what I do? See, I don't have permission to go on a vacation. I mean, this is my tape, okay? And that's my problem, but I got to look at that. My wife's going to Europe, and I'm teaching parenting classes, okay? And I want to tell you, I would rather be here than in Europe. Can you believe anybody that crazy? Because I'd be thinking what I should have been doing. All right. Do we pick our opposites? And the problem is when we pick our opposites, instead of accepting them as they are, we start to try to change our companions. Is that true? Are you unhappy because you picked somebody that wasn't like you? And now if that guy would just be red, wouldn't everything be wonderful?
Yes.